Buildings identify a place as special and distinctive. In Lancaster, the buildings around us give the city its unique look and historic character, reflecting Lancaster's progression from a small colonial town to the modern city we see today. Lancaster's architecture is recognized nationally for its significance. The majority of the city's historic buildings date from the end of the 19th century, after the Civil War, and define the city's prevailing Victorian character. Well-maintained buildings help to improve property values, strengthen the local economy, and promote community pride and appreciation.
Well, when we moved to Lancaster almost 20 years ago, when we would come downtown on the first Friday, I think there were 2 art galleries open. Since that time, all the different galleries that have opened up, all the different restaurants that have opened up downtown, it's just been great to see people come back into the city and value being downtown. My name is Donald Main, and I'm an architect living here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We get a lot of experience in spaces that range from performance spaces to science spaces to housing spaces, so we have a wide range of projects we do. The neat thing about Lancaster is that a majority of the city is within a historic district, so there's a lot of good building stock here that's worth preserving.
Lancaster citizens have worked hard for decades to protect the city's architecture through private action and public policy. Historic districts have been established within the city as a way to safeguard buildings against unjustified demolition, inappropriate new construction, or insensitive alterations. The review process invites public input and promotes good community design.
So I've been on HARP for a pretty long time, maybe, 13 years. It's fascinating to me, the craftsmanship, that how people built things in the old days, and it's worth preserving. I'm Mimi Shapiro, and I live here in Lancaster in a house built in 1854.
Historic preservation challenges the idea that older buildings are inferior in construction or function to modern buildings. Technological improvements can be introduced into older buildings without losing important historic features and craftsmanship.
Lancaster is a one-of-a-kind, and it's worth saving. If you're using the wrong materials to preserve historic buildings, they literally will fall apart in a very short amount of time. My name is Jonathan Owens. I'm the founder at Lancaster Limeworks.
A lot of the buildings in the city are constructed of masonry. The actual framing in the buildings is old growth timbers, so the materials that are in these buildings are materials that are either very, very expensive in today's world or impossible to come by.
A building that was built before 1900 was built out of lime mortar, if it's masonry, stone or brick. If you repair a masonry building using the wrong mortar, a modern day Portland cement, it traps moisture in the wall and it causes the very mortar that the building was built out of to dissolve. It needs to get saved. The buildings need to be kept exposed, maintained properly. It's an historic city, it's a one-of-a-kind. Lancaster City is a one-of-a-kind.
It doesn't cost as much when you're refurbishing, you're renovating, you're making it new, but you're not getting rid of all of the old.
A lot of the older buildings in the city have been renovated accretively over time, so layers of material on top of layers of material on top of layers of material. So anytime we would tear something apart, we would take it down to the original studs or the original construction and then start from scratch. It's a great place then to start because you've got really solid building then to start to, to renovate from.
I believe it's our own personal responsibility to promote restoration of our buildings. Even though that we seem to own and have title to our own homes, we are going to pass on. Other people are going to have that building. If they're not maintained properly, we're stealing from future generations.
People from all over are interested in Lancaster because it seems real. I always say it's the most European city on the East Coast, and nobody knows that. There's a train, there's market, you can walk all over town. I mean, it really is pretty perfect.
The historic architecture is one of the reasons why Lancaster is an attractive place to live. So it's really a collaboration of neighbors, business owners, community members, agreeing or recognizing the value in historic districts and all being willing to invest in those districts.
Historic preservation is the DNA or the genetics of our past, and once that's gone, it's gone for good.
Preservation helps make all of this better for the future for all the people who are going to come after us.
Today, the city is home to the county courthouse and government offices, major banks, the Lancaster County Convention Center, hotels and hospitals, and diverse institutions such as churches, colleges, and social service organizations. The city has recently attracted new enterprises such as high-tech firms, art galleries and studios, and new venues for music and dining. Lancaster's preserved historic buildings are physical links to our past that enrich our present lives and form a legacy to be passed on to future generations. Lancaster's architecture distinguishes it as a unique and genuine place, shaping a city authentic.